72-year-old Zaverio Waitwabusa is one of the more than 10,000 people displaced by heavy flooding in Kanara sub-county, Ntoroko district. He lives with his family in a makeshift shelter on one of the few remaining patches of dry land left in the area. Waitwabusa was in Kanara in the 1960s when the worst floods hit the area after River Semliki burst its banks.
Bantu bakatalibana tuwatandika kukozesa amato tugenda mu butale bwa nsozi katugambira ebisenge giyona amato wonka.
Relating with the previous floods, Waitwabusa thinks the current floods will take a while to recede because the ones in the 60s took more than 4 years to clear.
Nagana kukuba ngakiyita ngasoko kushi emyaka yana ngagichi abukuba hatuna sahe ndagakize emyaka inga.
A cycle of floods and droughts has been Ntoroko's story since. This, in 2014.
These areas have in a span of 1 week become impassable. In fact, they are desolate after residents fled to find drier ground.
And this, in 2017.
Ntoroko district is grappling with prolonged drought, which has left many gardens, including Katabaros, dry.
A tale of the district that lies between two extremes of floods and drought. But why is this so?
It is a seasonal wetland. Seasonal wetland means when it is rainy, there is water. When it is drought, water goes away.
The district is 1,236 square kilometers of mostly flat land. One can drive for many kilometers without encountering any form of raised terrain.
Now here's the thing. On the world map, you have an entire flat belt, if you like, bordered by mountains and Lake Albert on this side. So you have 10 rivers, actually more than 10 rivers, connected to this lake via Lake George and Lake Edward, which makes this river the soak pit of all the water bodies around it. Now, during the May floods in Kasese and Bundibujo, large sediments of soil were carried into the lake through those water channels, and with all the degradation going on around Lake Albert, and by the way, these places include Mubende and parts of Bunyoro and parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So as a result of that, the seabed has since risen and water is trying to find its level within the community.
The Ntoroko situation could get worse if River Semliki, which has for all the past years been the source of flooding, burst its banks.
Floods in Ntoroko have been onshore about 3 kilometers, but now it's about 10 kilometers onshore. And there's more possibility that it will reach even 30 kilometers onshore.
Because the catchments are degraded, that water no longer stays in the catchment. And moreover, these catchments are hidden, and that is why we are anticipating that the frequency of flooding will become shorter and shorter, and the disaster and its impact will be at a higher magnitude.
How fast do you think we can achieve action with what is going on to save the communities?
The pressure should come from all stakeholders of this country. The farmers, the people who are now displaced, who are in displacement camps. We must have a common voice to make sure that the decision-making process appreciates that we need to move. We need to move from talking to actual practical intervention.
For now, both flood victims and the experts are calling on the government to relocate the affected people whose number keeps rising with the water levels. Edward Mhumza, NTV.